can you just sum up in one sentence where we're at in this whole cyber world that we're experiencing?
Oh, look, it's hard to sum it up in just a sentence, but if I had to, I'd probably say that we're at a tipping point at the moment. When it comes to the online world, we're all experiencing the major benefits of things like generative AI. I don't know too many people that haven't had a go at ChatGPT or Gemini, for example. So I think we're all looking at an amazing future. But how humans intersect with technology and the online harms that are coming out of this is something that we really, really need to address. I talk about this concept of digital resilience. And often when I talk to someone about it, they'll think immediately that I'm speaking about cybersecurity and systems and preventing cyber attacks. But actually, when I say digital resilience, I'm talking about the human, the individual. How do we help ourselves? How do we equip ourselves with the knowledge and skills so that we can thrive in this next iteration of technology and the lives that we're going to lead within it?
So what would you say, like, just touching on that point, because you're right, like, even I think the heading of our title, how are your team cyber safe? People probably automatically went, well, yeah, don't click on that button, or don't do that. But what are the layers of what you're talking about when it comes to this discussion?
Yeah, so I'm talking more about, I guess, the online abuse that people experience. One of the bees in my bonnet at the moment, and what I really want to advocate and bring awareness to, is the disproportionate targeting of women and girls, for example, or minority groups in the online space. So, we know that bullying, for example, has amplified in so many different ways. If we look at the recent Taylor Swift saga, deepfake technology is being weaponized against women. And when I say women, it's intersectional groups. So people of color, people living with disability, LGBTI community, even with young people. I know that 85 or 87% of young people state that they receive online hate if they identify as LGBTIQ. So if we're looking at how technology evolves and the deep fakes of the world, that's a really targeted way of abusing people. And a lot of people don't really see it as a problem if it's happening to someone else, but if you're the target, how do you know where to go to get help? How do you know what the law says, your rights are? How can your workplace help you if this has occurred because you've gone on to LinkedIn, for example, and shared something about, a promotion, or, your workplace has asked you to share something great that they're doing in the space of D&I, whatever it might be. Where's that line of responsibility? So there's a lot to unpack with that, but particularly, the deepfake situation, that alone, in terms of the statistics that we're seeing, 96% of deepfakes are pornographic in nature. 99% of them include women. So it's a gendered issue, and one that I really believe is a barrier to women's economic empowerment. If we're thinking about International Women's Day next week, it's something that nobody really realizes is a huge barrier for women going into leadership positions.